ISE 2024 right before the show opens, actually 2 days before the show opens. We just saw the projection mapping show with Sophia. Sophia, tell me kind of what inspired you to make this art and produce this entire thing.
Well, the piece was obviously inspired by Gaudí and his passion for natural forms. So basically what we did here is research the natural forms that inspired him to do his work. And we trained several models and tried to render them in what for us with, artistic license is obviously how we imagine his journey in a way.
How long did it take you from start to finish?
It took around 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
And then what would you say was the most important aspect? Was it the art? Was it the technology? A mixture of both?
Well, the art was the most important part, and also the fact that it had to work in this context. It had to be a piece that anyone can watch and that can work in the facade. And the facade, as you know, is not flat.
It's very technical. So going more towards the technology, how close did you work with Sophia or with other artists to understand the technology that's needed and everything like that?
Yeah, so I've been collaborating with Sophia for many years. So for us, we've been for many years developing various ways of using generative systems and neural networks in order to create, the works that we create. However, in this context here, because we have such an opinionated surface, which is the facade of the building, we not only had to work with the visuals and trying to find ways of bringing the storytelling to life with the visuals, but find ways to work productively with the three-dimensional surface, which is the building, which in our case involved building a whole new pipeline, which allowed us to generate visuals, but through an interface of the actual facade, so that you gain elements that respond to the actual layout of the facade and those elements in turn, creating ability. And of course, while technology is important for us as we are digital artists, it's far more important for us was to try and develop a workflow wherein we could actually work creatively and intuitively with the facade and the subject matter. It's not just a matter of rendering the final output, but how can we have a process where we can explore, have trials and errors, just as Gaudi over time tried to explore various mediums and refined and developed his techniques, be it structurally or be it visually, as you see on the facade.
And then what would you say was the most difficult part of this project? Either one of you. Sophia, you can go first.
Yeah, the most difficult part, I think, is the fact that the facade is not flat, so we needed to work in 3D, and we also needed to produce content that moves in 3D, so creating that kind of like optical illusion of three-dimensionality, going inwards into the facade, or having like water kind of rippling through the facade. All this motion.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was definitely one of the challenging things.
And then from the technical aspects, what would
I
you
think
say?
our main challenge for us was time, really, because we had 3 months to do this whole thing, and this is normally when we build a pipeline, we spend over a year building and refining the code, the neural networks, all those factors involved. So this was quite an effort.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Can you speak to any of the technology that was used?
Right, so the way we worked with this system was we trained neural networks, in this case visual neural networks trained on images, and what we needed to do was to use secondary neural networks that help us control or guide the outputs, because normally when you train a neural network, you take a data set of images, you train it, and then you can generate random outputs from that input, right? But in this context, because we have the facade here, which is so three-dimensional, we needed to use in a sense, auxiliary neural networks that are trained upon depth data, upon various types of ways of codifying form or movement, and use those to shove and guide the output with the facade coming into the system. And that way, through kind of this daisy chain of neural networks, we were able to achieve the results you see there.